Hey everybody, how are you? We are so excited to be jumping on with you today and just sharing. We are calling this Plexus Posting 101. So I am Lauren Lovelace and I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I am joined by my amazing teammate and business partner, Jackie Clark, who's a Ruby Ambassador. And when we first got started posting and sharing Plexus on social media, we felt like we had to learn a lot of things. We had a lot of guidance because we have amazing leaders, but we also felt like we had to stumble through and learn things, and things are constantly changing. So we wanted to just come to you today and just share a few things that honestly, some tips, 10 tips that we've learned along the way that we wish we learned a little bit quicker, but have helped us a ton in our business. And we just want to share those with you. Hopefully they're going to help you in your business. That is the coolest thing about this business, is that we can share person to person, but we also have this amazing device at our fingertips that we can share with people and have a captive audience. But we want to make sure that we are working smarter, not harder, and that we are sharing in a way that is authentic, the Plexus way, and just really making sure that we are sharing with our audience in a really effective way. So we are going to share with you 10 tips that we wish we would have learned along the way or a little sooner, but that we're utilizing every day, and they're working for our businesses, they're working for our teams, and we're just so excited to share these with you. So first and foremost, when you are sharing on social media, you are sharing yourself, right? You're sharing your brand. You are putting yourself out there and you are sharing your brand. You are the brand. The truth of the matter is that people are joining you. They're not just joining Plexus. And so that was something that I learned right off the bat. And something that we have taught our team and that we really hold on to is we pick 5 what we call handles. So 5 things that we're interested in, 5 things that we're passionate about, 5 things that are going to attract people that are like-minded to us, right? So your vibe is going to attract your tribe. Am I right? So if the things that you're passionate about, there's lots of people out there that are passionate about those exact same things. And what I've learned is if we cast a really wide net and we try to capture everyone, we're going to capture no one, right? We're just not going to be interesting to anybody. But if we hone in on the things that we really care about, we're authentically passionate about, we're going to find those people out there on social media that are like-minded, passionate about those same exact things. So what I mean when I talk about brand handles are those things you're going to hang on to. For me, that looks like my family, my marriage, cooking and clean eating. That is a huge passion of mine. Home decor, and then obviously Plexus, right? So Plexus is just one of my 5 things, but I am sharing about all of those different things every single day. So whether for you that is clean eating and cooking, or maybe you're super passionate. Jackie is an aerialist, a massage therapist, so she's posting about those things. Obviously I don't do any aerial. I don't hang upside down like a crazy woman like Jackie does. So I'm not posting about those things. That's not my audience. So I want you to just take some time and write down 5 things that you are genuinely excited about, that you want to share about, that are part of your life already. And you're just going to share those on your social media platform, and you're going to weave Plexus right into it. No different than you would share about your favorite restaurant you just went to, your favorite boutique in town, an amazing movie. Well, when we used to be able to go to movies, an amazing movie you saw, that sort of thing. You're going to share about that, and you're just going to weave Plexus into it, right? You're passionate about Plexus. Plexus is part of your life. It's changing your life. It's changing your health. It's changing your finances. And so you are just weaving that in as part of your life and sharing the things that you love and are already passionate about. So Jackie, I'm going to let you go to number 2.
Yeah, so when we talk about those 5 handles, it starts to take the pressure off a little bit about what do we post, right? Okay, so now we've narrowed down the things we really want to post about, but the real magic in taking the pressure off is planning those posts. So looking at picking a night of the week or a morning of your week and mapping out what days or when you're going to share all 5 components of your brand. And then knowing, like Lauren had said, if you know you're going to a family event, plan to take some photographs that you can store on your phone and keep for future posts about family. If you know you're going to go to a sporting event, grab some sports pictures that you can use. And so we map out what our week will look like in terms of our social media sharing ahead of time, so that there isn't like this pressure to come up with a post by 8 a.m. or by 5 p.m. We like to map out when we're going to use those brands and how we're going to weave Plexus into them. Whether we're sharing them on our stories, we're sharing it strictly on Facebook, or we're utilizing Instagram for all it has to offer to share those 5 brands. But planning it out takes the pressure off of us. It allows us to stay consistent with all 5 of those things and consistent with sharing Plexus. So I'm going to pass it off to Lauren to let her tell you how we use those posts and how frequently we should do that.
Yes. So one of the biggest things I have learned is posting daily is huge. And I know sometimes in the beginning, especially if you're new to using social media, posting daily can feel like a lot. But posting daily, whether it's about Plexus, about one of those 5 brand handles, is just going to keep your visibility. It's going to keep you top of mind for people, whether it's about your cute kids or it is about Plexus. It's going to keep you top of mind. A great example is today I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw an amazing photographer that I love. She's taken family photos of us, and she was doing back to school pictures of her kids. I mean, just like everybody else, right at the front door, sending her kids back to school. And immediately I said, oh my gosh, I need to book with her. I messaged her right then and there, and I said, hey, we need updated family photos. When can we book a session with you? She wasn't sharing about her photography business. She wasn't sharing anything about that, but she instantly came to mind. She showed up in my news feed, and I immediately thought about, oh my goodness, I need to, book her as a photographer for my family. And so that is where we just want to be top of mind for people. And also the Facebook and Instagram algorithm, the more often we're posting, the more visible we are to our friends and our family, and all those people out there in Instagram world that we don't even know. So definitely posting daily is huge. And we also don't want to post and pray, right? So we want to make sure that, posting is one of the components of sharing Plexus, right? So that is just a part of it. But having this game plan, having, a brand that you're sharing is going to make it so much more effective. But the posting daily is huge. But here's something that I've learned. Is there are certain times on Facebook and Instagram specifically that you're going to get much higher traffic, right? So you're going to be more visible to more people. So I have learned that I get the most engagement, the most interaction, the most people see my stories if I am posting early in the morning. Why? Because people are scrolling their phone before they go to work, before they drop the kids off, before they get started with their day. So early in the morning is a really great time. Another great time is lunchtime, right? Because people are taking a break. They are either grabbing lunch from, a work break, or they just have like a pause in their day. Or maybe they're just sitting down to eat and they're scrolling their phone real quick. So lunchtime is great. So early morning, lunchtime, and then evening, right? After dinner, people are done, they're settled, kids are done with homework, those sorts of things. They're getting ready for bed. Typically people will scroll their phone too then. So those are kind of like what I follow for the weekdays: early morning, lunchtime, later in the evening. If I don't get that post off first thing in the morning, then I just say to myself, hey, I'll just wait until lunchtime and make sure I get it off then. Sometimes my day goes that I go, oh, I didn't get it off at lunchtime. I'll make sure I do that after dinner, because people are going to be scrolling then, and I'm going to get the most traction and the most visibility. The other thing I've learned is Saturday mornings are gold. Saturday mornings are an amazing time to put your post out there. And me personally, I love to share testimonies on Saturday mornings. People are on their phones. They're not rushing out the door for work. And they typically will have a little downtime and get to scroll social media. So Saturday mornings are a huge morning for me. I always make sure I have a post ready bright and early on Saturday morning. But I will tell you, after 12 noon on Saturday, all the way till really Sunday evening, social media is pretty dead. People are busy, they're doing their own thing. So that is a great time for you to just take a breather, take a breath, take a break, be with your family, engage with your family, and then have some posts ready for Sunday night, because that's when people pop back on again. So those are just some really easy guidelines to just share with you. I've learned that I get the most engagement if I'm using those guidelines. So during the week, early in the morning, lunchtime, after dinner, and then on the weekends, Saturday morning is amazing till about noon, 12 noon, and then get those posts ready for Sunday evening. So those are super helpful. I'm gonna let you go into number 4, Jackie.
Yeah, so talking about getting these posts out there, we obviously don't want to spend all day posting content left and right to engage all of our audiences, but we want to make that 1 post or 2 posts be the most impactful. So how do we connect with that audience we're trying to engage with? We use hashtags. So Instagram has a sea of hashtags available to us, and you can follow other Instagrammers that are in line with your brands and copy and paste their hashtags. You can save those hashtags in a note on your phone so that they're consistently being used with whatever it is you're sharing in those 5 handles. The other thing about Instagram hashtags is they have numbers associated with them. So if you choose a hashtag that has 1.5 million posts associated with it, you're probably not going to rank pretty high on the visibility there. So you want to pick a hashtag that has in the thousands, maybe 100,000, 200,000, somewhere in that range where you know you're going to jump high on their list of visibility and start to gain more followers that are like you and enjoy the things that you like as well. So we like to hang on to those hashtags and utilize them either in our stories, use them on our posts, engage with an audience that we think follows those hashtags so that we can start to attract more people to our page and engage with them that way. The other thing about hashtags is you can use different variations of things. So for us, if we want to use the gut health hashtag, it has a pretty high number associated with it, but gut health matters is lower. Gut health, brain health, the GI, gut brain connection. There's a lot of different variations of all the hashtags, and you can use multiple versions of them in one post. So hashtags are great in terms of growing your audience, but they're also a good way to boost your visibility in general on Instagram. Lauren, do you want to talk more about that engaging piece?
Yeah, I was going to say, so the other thing is that those hashtags are just constantly expanding your network, which is huge. And in this business, we want to constantly be making new friends, expanding our network. And obviously we can do that in social media, but we can also do that in person as well. And one of my favorite things to do is I meet someone, I'm out and about. I did it the other day. I was at a store. The girl behind the counter that was helping me was amazing and sweet and engaging. And we just got into a great conversation. And I immediately said to her, hey, I would love to stay connected. Here, put your name in my phone. Are you on Facebook? And she typed her name in, and now instantly I have a new friend on Facebook. So just constantly just being aware of, enlarging your network and making friends, connecting with them on Facebook. And then they're going to see you posting about your business. They're going to see you posting about these products that you love. They're going to see all the things that you have going on in your life and start to follow you. So just constantly being mindful of expanding your network and always making new friends wherever you go. The other thing is that people can tend to be a little bit selfish, right? We know this. And so when they're scrolling Facebook, when they're scrolling Instagram, they want something in return. So Jackie and I always talk about this as the 3 E's. What is the content that we're putting out there? The 3 E's. Is it engaging? Is it educational? And is it empowering? Okay? Because that's what people want, something when they're scrolling Facebook and Instagram, right? They want to gain something from you, and we want to give them something, right? So we want to make sure that we are engaging and interesting and fun and exciting, right? But we also want to make sure that the content that we're putting out there, are we educating people? Are we maybe showing them a different way, a different approach to their health? health? Are we teaching them something they didn't know about before? Or are we empowering and inspiring them to make a change in their health, to make a change in their life, to go for bigger dreams? So just being aware of the content that you're putting out there and just following that rule of the 3 E's. So we kind of just run our content through that filter. Because think about it, you can follow anybody, right, on social media. And so we want to stop people's scrolls. We want to get them to take a moment and pause, because how quickly can somebody go through and just scroll? So we want to make sure that we're adding value to people's lives. We're giving them something that they can walk away with. And sometimes it's just little tidbits. It doesn't have to be some amazing over-the-top thing. We're just dripping value on people and giving them something that they can walk away. I always tell people, I want you to come to my little space on Instagram or Facebook and leave better than you came, right? So we want to give people something when they walk away. So either they're inspired, they're excited, they're empowered, they learned something, or you were just interesting that day, right? So just running it through that filter. And I think just taking that focus about what can I give people, what value can I add to people's lives? Okay, Jackie, I'll let you go take number 6.
So speaking of filters, filters are really important for social media because it gives continuity to your feed, and people find that really pleasing when all of your pictures blend well together. And so Instagram and Facebook really both have built-in filters that you can apply to all of your pictures to keep that look visibly pleasing. But there's apps that you can use too. PicTapGo offers great filters. Lightroom allows you to do presets. So what we try to do is when we map out our week and plan our posts, we sort of think about what pictures we're going to share with those posts, because we know that pictures are what grabs people's attention. So if we're posting without a picture, you're already losing some engagement, because that visibility, that visual is what catches people's attention. And we want them to see that picture and go, ooh, what's this all about? And when there's a continuity in how your photos look, it's a brand. People go, oh, that's Lauren's post, because it has that really cool contrasty filter on it. So we want to make sure we're utilizing those filters and we're editing and we're making our lighting super pleasing to people, so they don't look at our picture and kind of feel like you're a 5-year-old took it for you. So we're always using apps or using preset Instagram filters or light features to just brighten things up and make them aesthetically pleasing. So I'm going to let Lauren talk a little bit more about what those pictures should be made of.
Yes, so that's a huge thing. I mean, little simple things, you guys, about just being mindful about the pictures that you're putting out there. Even just standing in front of a window, getting lighting. Sometimes I'll just hold my phone and kind of go around the room and be like, oh, is this gonna be the right lighting? Is this gonna make it look pleasing to the eye? So just being mindful about some of those things are just gonna create a whole new, that's your first impression, right? Your social media is your storefront. So I always think of it like when I would walk up to a storefront and you see all the beautiful, clothes and mannequins and things in the window, or, I know some stores do like really amazing, I love like Anthropologie storefront windows, right? They're getting you to stop. They're getting you to come by and pause for a second and take notice. And so if we have really beautiful pictures, and I'm not talking, we don't need to have a photographer. Sometimes, we do have a 5-year-old take our pictures, right? We just put a really good filter on it and nobody ever knows. So it's okay to do that, but just, we can doctor them up a little bit. We can make them a little crispier. We can add a filter to them, a preset like Jackie was saying. And those apps are so good, you guys. Most of them just cost a couple dollars. I know PicTapGo is one of my favorite. You can save recipes in there. And then also I love Lightroom, but also there are built-in, just like Jackie was saying, built-in filters on both of those apps. But the other thing that I've learned is, especially, it's easier when we're posting pictures of ourselves and our families and things like that. But what if I want to share my products, right? What if I want to share my pink drink or my lean shake, or my probiotic and my Probio 5 and my Bio Cleanse? how can I do that without looking like spammy or graphic-y? And this was something that I had to learn in the beginning, because I do want to feature my products every once in a while through my through my feed, but I don't want it to look spammy. I don't want somebody to come to my Instagram page or come to my Facebook page and go, oh my gosh, this girl's just selling stuff to me all day. Nobody shows up on social media to be sold to, even though we all know the reality. I mean, I bought this shirt off of Instagram. So let's be real. We are all buying things off of social media. And that's why we're doing this business and sharing this business the way we are, because if you're on social media, you are selling something. You might just not be getting paid for it. But we want to do it in a way that's really beautiful, in a way that's very classy. And so just making sure that we're not using graphics or spammy images or things like that really do help give continuity, like Jackie was saying, to our feed. So one of our favorite things to do is like pose with our pink drink and your feet are in the picture, or setting up a really, beautiful, like we'll call it like a flat lay, or, just positioning your products. There's plenty of them out there. There's amazing leaders in Plexus who take gorgeous pictures of their products. Take notice of what they're doing, position your products in a way. Or my favorite thing to do, because people like to see you on your feed, is get in the picture with your product, right? Or set the product on your counter, or do something where you're placing that product within the picture. But you get way more engagement if you're in the photo. I've learned that. So just no graphics, no spammy, salesy graphics. Just really making it a beautiful photo really goes a long way.
Yes. And when we talk about sharing, and we love our products, everybody loves to share the products because they're amazing. And that's like what brings us into Plexus in the first place. But it can't be the only thing that we share. We have to share all that Plexus has to offer us, all the things that we are so grateful for, that we love about our company and our team and our sideline sisters. And so when we talk about consistently sharing, we're sharing our life, we're sharing our family, what we love, but we're also sharing all the aspects of Plexus. And I know for me in the beginning, I always wanted to talk about the products because it was so safe. It just felt so safe to be able to say, I can 100% stand behind these products. I love them. But really the magic happens when we start talking about Plexus as an opportunity. That's something that people need just as much, if not more, than the products some days. So when we share our posts that we've mapped out, make sure you include some testimonies about women that are having amazing business success, or a little tidbit about the Plexus compensation plan that someone might not know, like the lifestyle bonus that you get when you hit Emerald, or just community, like when we get to celebrate other women that are having success on our team, or someone who's joining us and having great success. Those are all things that people really want to see. They want to see the whole Plexus picture, right? That's what we're trying to portray, is not just selling a bottle of ProBio 5 on your counter, but we want to share that this company has so much to offer anybody at any level. So when we're consistently sharing, we're sharing the business, we're sharing the products, we're sharing the community, we're sharing the nitty-gritty, the mission of our company, the one Plexus mentality. We're putting all of that out there for everyone to see. So again, we can do this in a number of ways, but Lauren has really shined in the last year or two, if not more, with testimonies. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit more about how we use testimonies to boost our business too.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, that Saturday mornings are gold. So I have learned that if I share, obviously I'm always sharing my own story. That is super important, right? We always want to be re-sharing. We can't tell our own story enough. Like Jackie said, with the products and the business, because they are equally as amazing. And people right now, they need two things, and we have two things we can offer: health and finances, which how amazing is it that we have those things to offer? But my story might not look like your story. And when people are scrolling Instagram, they're scrolling Facebook, they want to know, how is this going to benefit me? So if I'm only posting about weight loss because that's my journey, and somebody's scrolling and says, weight loss isn't for me, I don't deal with that, then they're just going to scroll right on by, right? No different than for me and my husband, we started our Plexus journey because of anxiety and depression. So that's not everybody's story. So I share that part of my story because I know that there's people out there that need relief. I know that there's people out there that are looking for an answer, but my story is not everybody's story. And this has been huge for me, not only to help people see all the amazing things that Plexus can help them with, but sharing other people's stories, other people's testimonies, real people that are just like them that they can relate to and they can see hope. Honestly, that's the biggest thing. My dad always used to tell me that people make a change in their life out of inspiration or desperation. And so I feel like those testimonies and sharing those stories with people truly either can give them hope from a place of desperation or inspire them. And I really feel like not only can it draw people in and allow them to see what these products could potentially do for them, but it also gives them realistic expectations, right? Because they see other people's journeys. It's really easy to see a before and after and be like, oh my goodness, I bet that happened overnight. But you and I both know that this isn't a quick fix. This isn't a fad. We've tried all those things. They don't work. They don't last. This is a lifestyle. And so we can create realistic expectations for people. And I will tell you, one of the biggest things that this has helped me with is the retention in my business, in keeping people on their products. Because you and I both know that if people take their products, they're going to have amazing results. And if they give their body and the products the time that they need, they're going to have really amazing results. So it's so important for us to create realistic expectations. And part of that is right from the get-go, right? The way that we're sharing and the way that we're telling people's stories. We have an amazing resource. Our Welcome to Health and Happiness page is incredible for some of those stories and testimonies. We have so many sideline sisters and people on our own team that have their own amazing health stories and testimonies. And you can scroll Facebook and Instagram and see lots of amazing stories, which leads, I'm going to let Jackie wrap up with one of our last tips, which is how can we find some of these stories? How can we really get inspired? How can we see some of these things besides just our Welcome to Health and Happiness page? And if you're not on that, let us know and we will help get you added so you have that. But I even just share, when I'm scrolling Instagram, I'm scrolling Facebook, I see someone on our team share their story, I save those to the notes of my phone. And those are my Saturday morning posts. Those are my Tuesday morning posts, where I have those saved in the notes of my phone. So that way, when I am ready, like Jackie talked about, having a game plan, knowing what I'm posting on what day, I already have those ready to go. So I'm not having to search in the moment and get that post out super early on Saturday morning. But it really has been such a game changer. So sharing your testimony is huge. Sharing other people's testimonies is equally as beneficial.
Yeah. And where do we find those testimonies, right? Like Lauren said, part of our planning, part of this process is while we're scrolling, taking a minute to copy and paste the text of a testimony that you find that you love, saving the picture to a folder on your phone, an album in your phone that's testimony pictures. Lots of times I'll save in my notes the whole testimony and I'll copy the picture right in there with it. So it's all together. Or I'll tag who it is so that I can maybe use a different picture of them from their newsfeed. But we like to keep our eyes on the leaders in our company, right? So some of them are on our team, some of them are just Plexus ambassadors from all around. But there are some that are worth sharing. And I was going to do note cards and I left them downstairs. But one of the people that we love to watch is our very own Chelsea Dassinger. She is at Keeping House. I think it's Keeping House with an underscore. And she does an amazing job of mixing a version of what they have going on in their lives and their stories. She's always staying true to like her brand and her posts, her news feed. Her photographs are all filtered in the same light, so everything looks consistent. But she just really does an amazing job of being present on social media, adding value, using those 3 E's. She's someone you want to follow. Rebecca Folks is another one. She has an interesting spelling, but if you start typing in Rebecca, Rebekh, she'll pop up with Folks at the end. She does an awesome job in her newsfeed as well. So there's someone else to follow. Brooke Hemingway is a pioneer in Plexus in terms of creating huge teams, giving lots and lots of beneficial business information and just inspiring women to keep doing their thing, keep pushing for their dreams. So Brooke Hemingway is another one. On our team, we have a couple of amazing girls. Rebecca Sims, right? Rebecca Sims, is that her? I don't know what her handle is. Free to Be Me, I think.
Yes, Free to Be.
Amanda Hall, One Outnumbered Mama, is great. Lauren Gillian has, I don't remember what hers is. It might be just her name. I should have had these written down. But there's some wonderful people that you can follow. But what we do is we get curious. We ask, hey, Lauren, your story was amazing today. What app did you use for that? Can I steal that story? I like to ask people for their testimonies. If someone shares their story and I love it, I'll say, hey, can I share this someday on my feed? We just get really curious about using the one Plexus mentality and borrowing information from our friends. But I really feel that I've learned the most, like Lauren said in the beginning, we learned a lot along the way. I learned the most from being curious and watching other Plexus ambassadors and really focusing on emulating what they're doing in their stories and what they're doing on their feed and how frequently they post and what hashtags they use. There's so much we can learn from our friends in Plexus. So definitely get curious and start following some of these accounts.
Yes, and that is honestly, I mean, we all had to start somewhere, right? And that's the biggest thing. You just have to start doing it. And I promise you, you're going to get better at it. I go back and scroll back to some of my old posts when I first got started, and I'm like, oh, I just want to cringe, right? Because we have to start somewhere. So be okay with being a beginner. Be okay with it not being like someone that you see that's 10 steps ahead of you. But that is the biggest thing I've learned is if you want to be somewhere, go find somebody that's doing what you want to do, that's doing it how you want to do it, and follow their lead. See what they're doing. And that was what I did a ton. When I first started, I started following all the diamonds. Every time I'd watch a diamond documentary, I'd go find that person on social media. Every time I would, hear someone's name, I would see someone rank up on our team, I would see somebody excelling, I would go, okay, I want to go follow them on social media and learn from them, see what they're doing. Another one of my favorites is At This Loud House. On Instagram, Marianne Anderson. So find the people who are doing it better than you, who are 10 steps ahead of you. Maybe even they're just 2 steps ahead of you, and see what they're doing. Be inspired. Follow their lead. And that's really the biggest thing. But you really got to be a student of this, right? This is a component of your business. And the better we get at this, the more our business is going to grow. So like Jackie said, getting curious, get better at it, practice, do stories, put yourself out there a little bit, right? We're never going to get, any further unless we step a little bit outside of our comfort zone. So I know for me, stepping outside of my comfort zone was doing lives or doing stories where the camera's actually facing me and people get to see that interaction and I'm talking to them and they feel that connection. So sometimes we've got to step outside of what is comfortable in order to grow. But I will tell you, I did that very first live on Facebook, I remember, and I was petrified. I mean, sweating profusely, so freaked out. But guess what? I didn't die. And I kept showing up and I kept doing them. And now I'll turn my camera on me in an instant on my Instagram stories, film something, and not even think twice about it, right? Because I'm just constantly doing it and it's become part of my business. It's not a big deal. But we really do have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Be a student. If you don't know how to do something, one of our favorite ways to do it, YouTube it, right? Everybody's out there talking about how to make your stories better. Me and Jackie looked up a bunch today. There's how to, story hacks, how to make your stories better. We were like mind blown. We didn't even know it could do all of this. And we're on our Instagram stories every single day. So we're going to continue to give you more information, but we also want you to be curious. And if you're trying to get better at this, I promise you, I've built 99% of my business by sharing on social media. And even if it's not just because I'm sharing on social media and they're drawn to me, it's a way to give validity to my business. When I reach out to somebody, they have seen my posts. they have seen me showing up every day. They see me proud of my business. They see me proud of these products. They see me being a product of the product and using them every single day. So although posting is just one component of our business, I feel like it's such a thing that we can craft, that we can really just continue to get better and grow in. So we hope that this is a good start for you, that these top 10 tips, obviously we could talk about this all day, but we wanted to cut it off somewhere. We were laughing, we were like 10, 11, 12, how many tips? Because obviously there's a lot to this, but we wanted to give you just a general basic idea. And we're gonna keep expanding on this and keep showing you the way, but we also want you to keep learning. And the only way you learn is by doing. So showing up, posting every day, following some of these tips, we hope this is helpful for you. We implement these and practice these things every day, and they have been a big game changer for us. So we hope that this is a huge help to you guys. And we're just so grateful for you jumping on with us. And we love you guys. It's One Plexus. We want to help each other. We want to empower each other. And we just want to make sure that we're doing this business the way it could be and should be done, but rarely is. So we're just proud to be doing that. We're proud of the Plexus way. So thank you guys so much. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we hope this was helpful. Happy posting.